certainly is a whole bunch of Aqua cope. He did. Warner Brothers paid Empire for a cover feature because that's how these things work.
Yeah.
Studios pay companies to be featured on the cover, and this is a whole big pile of garbage. And yeah, I did a video on it earlier, but I think it's worthwhile getting everyone's opinion on it. They're trying to say that nothing happened. There's no behind the scenes drama. There's nothing bad, nothing at all. Now, you cannot tell me, well, you can if you're incredibly naive and stupid, but you can't tell me that one of the biggest, most high profile civil cases for the last 10, 15 years wouldn't have caused any upheaval. Really? Really? I don't think so. I don't think so at all. So let's check this out. So, he says, I've had to learn to be more zen in dealing with all the noise around me for sure. This is James 1, right? He tells Empire as part of our world exclusive Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom cover story. World exclusive, basically denoting that Warner Brothers paid them for this, all right? I'm a pretty private person. I don't get on social media and have fights, but it's difficult because this narrative has emerged that is not the reality. The noise is fun to write about and it gets clicks, but people don't know the truth. So remember this, we're all talking nonsense, this guy says. We're all talking nonsense. Nonsense. But obviously it's not. At all. It is absolutely true. So, talks about, sequel for the movie, Arthur Curry's. Can he make the film himself without any interference? He says, look, I'm a collaborative filmmaker. This is important, that's why I'm including it. I welcome people's thoughts and opinions, but ultimately, I feel I have more than proven myself. So I walked into Warner Brothers and said, this is the movie I want to make, right? That's what he said. This is the movie I want to make.
Where they continue to change it for the next 3 years.
Exactly. That's why I did it. So with regards to reshoots, one argues that they were in line with what's expected for a film. And he literally says, contradicts himself immediately, we probably did 7 or 8 days, which is nothing for a movie of this size. It was just spread out because it's so hard to get your actors back once you've finished all the initial shoot. And then he goes, I built an entire franchise from a reshoot, he says. So it's not the film you set out to make, then, is it, you idiot? It's not the film you wanted to make. I'm not that kind of person that says this movie has to turn out exactly how I planned. This is the movie I want to make. Yeah, what? Yes, it is. You literally said that earlier in the interview, you pleb. What are you doing? Your art will never be organic if you're locked into that mentality. And then they literally try to say that there might be a third film. I haven't directed a third movie in a series before, so I'd be open to doing another Aquaman if I got the same freedom I've had on these first two. I'm not sure what direction Gunn and Safran are going in, though, so who knows? I've learned to never say never. Few things. They absolutely did reshoot everything. They absolutely did change stuff. Absolutely unequivocally, Amber Turd did cause a ruckus behind the scenes. We know unequivocally, ladies and gents, that there was Michael Keaton in this, and then he was out of it, and then Ben Affleck was in it, and then maybe he's out of it. We don't really know. Yeah, this film's been reshot to fuckery. And it's not the movie you set out to make. Tom, I know you just
guarantee you Affleck nor Keaton is going to be in this thing. I'm with you on this. I don't believe a single fucking word of this. Juan is double talking here. This is a cleanup or a mop up by Warner Brothers paying Empire to do this cover story. Whatever. Why they're wasting their time, money, and effort on this fucking movie. This is what's ruining, basically their whole reboot image right now with James Gunn. Is all this muddy mess. This is the problem. Them getting behind this crap at this point is a problem. Trying to present the audience that this is something it's not is a problem. There's no way that the audience is going to react to this movie any different than the test audience does, especially if they go through with the shit that I've heard. You cannot kill a character like that and not expect the audience to act that way. And that's what I had heard, is that they lost the audience when that happened. because as I kept asking, what's going on with Amber? What's going on with Amber? What's going on with Amber? They said Amber's the least of the movie's problems. And now we know why. And I'm not going to spoil it for anybody in the chat who may actually want to know. I just said it that way, and it's not really a spoiler that way. It's the best I can do. But that being said, that is going to kill this movie's momentum from the start. And I know Culture knows what I'm talking about, and you may even have an inkling of what I'm talking about, Mr. H. So yeah.
Aqua baby.
Oh, you just spoiled it a lot.
So much for the spoiler.
No one cares about this film, but yeah, maybe.
I'm trying to be nice to those the one or two people who may actually care.
Yeah, but again, I mean, we heard about that early on, and a lot of us said, "Nah, they're not doing that." Well, yeah, they are.
Yeah, true. Oh dear, what do you think then, Culture? Are you game for this? Do you think it's going to be the creme de la creme, an amazing film? Just can't wait for it. Best thing since sliced bread.
Do you not know me? This film is doomed. It was in the middle of a giant mess. It was in the middle of a giant mess for a long time. It couldn't get out of its own way. Basically because of all the drama that was going around it. I mean, at this point in time, when they were really pulling this together, Warner Bros. Discovery was in its own bit of turmoil internally. I mean, all kinds of changes were coming down. Kellar was in, Kellar was out. You had, changes in leadership. This is a film that went through, if you count, 3 different types of leadership during its creative period. I mean, this was never going to be good. It was never going to be a good or proper sequel to the original film because so much had changed within the studio.
Nothing's changed. This film's exactly what he wanted. Come on now, behave. Didn't you listen to James Wan? He's such an honest man.
I'm trying to listen to him. Okay. I mean, how many times did you go back for reshoots? Oh, we only did 8 or 9 days. Oh, but then I had to
such a lie.
But I had to recreate a whole.
That's almost 2 weeks,
reshoot.
And that's pretty close to the things we had heard because the one I think was like 12 days of research. I think we heard.
Yeah, except that we know for a fact
that was like the second or third round anyway.
Yeah,
but
set of reshoots, exactly.
Yeah, they're not talking about the same set of reshoots. Sure, they may have had productions do set aside a little bit of the budget, and a few extra days for pickups.
Yeah,
and sometimes they will do a few reshoots then. Yeah. That's not what he's talking about.
No,
he's talking about one of the rounds of reshoots, and they're trying to obfuscate that is what they're doing.
Yeah,
this movie has been reshot because that was the other thing that we've been told, and that was backed up by that recent article.
Yes,
is that they reshot it. It tested worse than it did the first fucking time.
The test audiences hated it.
Yeah. Well, I love this news. I think it's hilarious.
But here's the thing. I mean, we're laughing at the slow destruction of our own loves, right? The things that we enjoy, and it's because I think we've all parted ways with the idea that we're going to get good entertainment out of those franchises, the things that we love. I know a lot of people enjoyed the first film. I didn't think it was anything special. I thought that the ladies liked it, but did it need a sequel? No. But it's the only one that made money. So.
Well, yeah, mate. First one cracked $1 billion, didn't it? This is not cracking 500 million. I'd be so surprised if it does.
No, I'm. This one is going to lose money. Yeah. I mean, I would say that Warner Brothers, Annus Horribilis would be DC right now. I think it's holding him back.